Namaste and welcome to the Essence of Knowledge meeting. And this meeting is a part of Essence of Knowledge program and is conducted weekly. I try to answer your questions and help you progress in the program. All questions are most welcome and I can see some questions already. So we'll start with these questions. So first question is by Rinki. If I am you, then why don't I know your thoughts, the way you think, speak, and operate? Because I am you is said at the level of the experiencer. And the experiencer, which is only one, which is the existence, has no knowledge of any kind. It does not know anything. It simply witnesses in the present moment. It does not know whether it is a thought or speech or action or vision. Nothing. It is a witness of whatever is happening. And at that level, that essence of everything is one. And in short, we say, you are same as I am. Not only same, it is one. The essence is one. What is knowledge here? According to our definition, impressions on the memory. And remember, memories are not one. At least in our daily life, daily waking state, memories are different. There is a boundary between your memory and my memory. So, whatever experiences happen, they are impressed on that memory, they are stored on the memory, in the memory. That is what we call knowledge. And because the memories are not connected, you will not know what is stored in my memory, and I will not know what is stored in your memory. So, although I am you, the superficial parts, the non essential parts are different, like bodies, minds, memories, and so on. The difference disappear as we go higher in the layered structure, which is mind. And the highest is obviously the experiencer, which is the ground, which is the screen. And at that level, there is no difference. Is it possible to know the thoughts and so on of other people? Some of the seekers will say yes, it is possible. Not all. It is seen as ability. It is seen as a spiritual ability to know the thoughts of everybody, anything, or even to know much more than thoughts, like what is happening in a remote place, what happened in the past, and what will happen in the future. These abilities, they come under powers or siddhis, and they are abilities of the mind, not of the experiencer. So as the spiritual progress happens, this boundary will increase, which is between the memories. Ultimately, you will realize that it is only one memory. But because of the necessity of survival, it is limited to a small area right now. In human form, normal human, without any powers, whatever is the content of that memory, you know only that much. Whatever is the content of the memory here in this instrument, body, mind, machine, I know only that much. This is needed for survival. Because let us say, if the memories are mixed, then it will cause a lot of confusion. Somebody is having a pain and they have a knowledge of pain, which is necessary for their survival. But if the memory is mixed with somebody else, that person also will get that kind of pain and will start behaving in a illogical manner, that I am painful, I am having some kind of pain or trouble. Or the likes and dislikes of one person will mix with others, and the thoughts of one person will mix with others, and they will go mad basically. Imagine this is only for one case. If everybody in the world gets their memories mixed up and gets the knowledge of everything, and they won't survive even for a minute. So, to operate in this physical world, certain limitations are taken up, and that is why, and that knowledge is not possible. Still, I am you, because the essence is one, and the separation is an illusion. In the human form, it is limited, and the separation is also an illusion. It is not really a separation, because if everything is one, it must be one at all levels, and that is what you will find. This comes under science part, science of the illusion. If you want to know more, there is a series on my YouTube channel, English channel. It is called Vibronics. There, everything about memory and the universal memory is described. How the mind is limiting the experience, it is all described. So your confusion is, I am you means there must be some physical connection, but no, the connection is spiritual, not physical. It is not a connection, because for to connect, it takes two things, but it is not a connection. It is unity, oneness. Hopefully it is clear. And remember, the experiencer does not know anything. Knowledge means impressions, and the experiencer is totally devoid of any qualities. Anything, there is nothing there. It is completely empty and pure. So try to know who you are. Try to know your essence thoroughly. Go through the chapters again and again. Question number 2. How is the lifespan of experiences decided? Example, some humans live for 50 years while others live for 90. What determines the difference? Same for feelings, ocean waves, some stay longer while others fade quickly. So as you know, time is an illusion. So nothing stays longer, nothing goes quicker. This is basic knowledge. If something is appearing longer in time, something shorter, there is no reason. This is how it is. This is the answer from the path of knowledge. Because if it appears longer, it is still illusion. If it goes away, it is still illusion. Ultimately, everything is impermanent. The duration is an illusion. It does not really matter because everything disappears. Something else appears. This is the reality. Then the duration and so on, they are just thoughts. They are coming because of ignorance. Never assume that these things are there. So some live for 50 years, it looks like. Some don't. Some live only for 5 years. It is possible. And now you can find causes in the illusion itself. There is no spiritual cause. The cause is in the illusion itself. It can be accidents. It can be diseases. It can be genetic. Sometimes you can find the cause in the mind. Probably that person has finished their life business and there is no desire to live. So the body listens and the body says, okay, there is no desire to live. My job is done. So rarely there will be a mental cause. And if you think from the point of view of metaphysical, which is the causal body, which probably you don't know. Nobody knows these things. So there is no surprise that nobody knows. So from that perspective of pre-allocation, if that causal body has allotted a small job which can be done in 20, 30 years, that means there is no need to live beyond that time. It looks like death, but it is simply the target is achieved. So the causal body withdraws. But I don't want to discuss these things because right now your basics are not strong. First, your basics should be strong. Like, what is time? Is there any duration? Why are thoughts different in different people? Isn't it? Not only lifespan, everything is different for them. Nobody has exactly same experience. So these basics, what is essence, what is truth, these must be known. Otherwise, you will collect a lot of information and you will assume that this information is the truth. That is not progress. Progress on the path of knowledge is removing the unnecessary. Removing that is only information which is not in your experience. Neither causes, no reasons. They are not in your experience. Remove them. See what is possible for you to know currently and surely, certainly. And then your path of knowledge will be success. Otherwise, you will collect a lot of facts, trivial facts, which you can find in any book and any video and so on. But they are not the truth. They are stories. So focus on the truth, not on these imaginary things. It can be anything. It can be anything. And the reasons are always made up. Made up to explain why this is happening like this. One wave stays like this, the other wave stays like that. And then we invent a reason. Although there is no reason. Because all possibilities are there. You are witnessing all possibilities. The reason, the concept of reason cannot be applied at this fundamental level, at the level of truth. It simply is. Then we invent a reason. Like I said, genetics and causal body and so on, diseases. He died because of this disease. People say like this. But you will see exactly another person with exactly the same disease and he lives. So what does this show? Every possibility is manifesting. That is the truth. So stay with the truth. Otherwise you will invent knowledge, which is simply ignorance, imagination. Okay, next question. What we see in dreams feels quite similar to what we see in the waking state. So how do experiences appear in waking state? Where do they come from? They are you. Again, go back to basics. Go back to basics. The experience is also you, and there is no how and why because it is fundamental. A chapter on the basic analysis of experience shows this, why there cannot be a reason or cause of any experience, why there cannot be a process for any experience to appear. What are these things? The appearances that are happening, it is you, your false aspect. True aspect is the experiencer, the true nature. What is the false nature? Whatever is appearing right now, it appears to itself. It is one. Remember this thing. It is very necessary to establish these fundamental things first. Is it one or two? Is that which is appearing is me or not? Think about this. Contemplate about this. If you can find any cause for anything at all in the universe, you will get a Nobel Prize because it is established that there cannot be cause. Cause and effect are inventions of human mind. It is not really present. It does not matter how the dream appears and how the waking appears. They are all illusions of different kinds. Let us say the cause, if you can find it, will be an experience. Where else you will find? There is experience, there is experiencer, there is no third. So where else you will find the cause? You will need to experience it to know that, okay, this is the cause. But the cause will also be an experience. So the cause of experience is another experience. So can we say experience causes experience? That will be meaningless. The cause will be also an appearance. That means it will be an illusion. So can we say the illusion causes the illusion? Again meaningless. So is it unknowable? Will I never know what is the cause of any experience, dream or waking or anything? No, there is nothing to know. Just like I said, you invent a concept of cause, then you try to find it somewhere. You will never find it because it is our imagination that fundamental things have causes. No, they don't have. Illusions or events or objects, they can have a cause, but that cause is also an illusion. Because again, you can ask another question. Now, what is the cause of this cause? And which cause is the correct cause? Because there can be 100 causes which causes one event. For example, rain, amount of sunlight, amount of moisture, amount of water in the lakes and rivers and ocean, the wind, all, these 50 parameters, let us say, in weather forecasting, they cause one event of rain at one place. What is the true cause? Nobody knows. If one is removed, the event will not happen. And sometimes there are events which have no cause at all. We call them random events. So nothing can be known because there is nothing to know. In the scope of your daily life, the notion of cause and effect works. And that also very limited way, just like I gave you an example. Nobody will know the real cause of anything. Sometimes some people will say it takes whole universe to cause one event. You can think about it. Yes, it is like this. So the cause of whole is whole itself, but meaningless sentence. So where do they come from and so on? You see, it is you. Nothing more can be known. You are unknowable. Only you can drop your imagination or you can drop your ignorance. On the path of knowledge, there are no answers. Only your question will be destroyed. It will be shown that the question is wrong because it is coming from this ignorance. So again, the suggestion is to make your foundation strong. What is cause? What is effect? Are they real? Why there is no cause of anything in the existence? There is no cause of existence. And how? No process also of experiencer, experience. Why? They are one. We are not talking about three things here. We are talking about one thing. And it is most fundamental. Actually, that is what is. The rest is ignorance. The rest is imaginary concepts, imaginary ideas in our mind. We are lost in these ideas and we have ignored what is. That which is the truth, ultimate truth. So the path of knowledge removes whatever is obstructing the ultimate truth and we simply abide in this truth. You are in step number 4. You need to abide in the truth. But before that, you must know what is true. And that is why these 20 chapters, they systematically tell you, they provide the evidence. And the evidence is always negative. It is called negative knowledge because positive knowledge is again imagination. So go through all the 20 lessons again. Basics are the problem. Once your basics are completely established, they're completely proven by your own experience and logic, and no questions will remain. These questions will not come. Yes, there can be questions about the practical things, how to do this, how to do that, how to practice, how to live. But that is not a problem because basics are clear. If these questions are answered in the light of knowledge, it will be meaningful. If the practical questions are answered in darkness, it is completely useless. Number 4, since everything comes from the experiencer and dissolves back into it, and all this happens through the mind, so is there a way we can train mind to have good experiences? Any possibility of manifestation? No. That thing which is trying to train or manifest is itself an illusion, is it itself a manifestation. Is the experiencer trying to cause any manifestation? Does the experiencer want anything? Does the existence want anything? Think about these questions. There is absolutely nothing there. Completely peaceful, content. With whatever is appearing, it accepts. And what is appearing? Everything. There is infinite potential. Remember this. Try to prove this. Try to get the evidence of this. That this is how it is. And the rest is my ignorance. Think like this. If everything is appearing, do I need to manifest anything? This Brahman, this ultimate reality, which I am, nobody else. Is it doing anything? Because everything is already present. So a lot of ignorance, isn't it? Is there any possibility of manifestation? There is only possibility. There is no manifestation. Nothing is manifested. It only appears. Why does it go away? Have you thought about it? Because it is only a possibility. Remember, if it changed, it is false. It is illusion. If it stayed, that means it is true. Now it is not merely a possibility. It is the truth because it did not change. But there is nothing like this. There is nothing like this. So there is no manifestation. There is only possibility. We call it infinite potential. Where is this possibility? In the existence. Because it is empty. Any kind of experience can appear here. That is simply potential. Sometimes we call it manifesting, but it is not really happening. Remember, there is no time, there is no space, there are no objects, nothing. No people. So what is really there? Nothing. It appears to be there, and that is beyond our intellect. Why? It appears like this, like that. It is a dream. In the dream, anything can appear. And the second mistake in your question is the word good experiences. There is no good experience and there is no bad experience. Good and bad are from the perspective of the human beings, these body mind machines. Whatever fulfills their desire is good. They call it good. If it does not, if it gives them pain and suffering, they call it bad. It is only point of view. In the absolute, there is no good and there is no bad. It is neutral. It is without any qualities. And the third mistake is, can we train the mind? This we is the problem. Mind is all there is. You can say at the level of the illusion, it is mind. There is no person who can train anything. The person is not real. You can see that the person is not even an illusion. At least the illusion appears, the mind appears, isn't it? But the person does not even appear. What appears? Body mind. Person is a concept. It is called ego or individual. Ego is a concept, idea, imagination. So can an imagination train another imagination? Think about this. There is one more mistake, that everything comes from the experiencer. No, nothing comes from the experiencer. There is nothing in the experiencer. It is the pure essence. Nothing is there. So at the level of duality, so you are saying that the experience comes from the experiencer. It emerges somehow. No, it does not. There is nothing in the experiencer which can cause that kind of experience. Nothing. At the level of non-duality, they are one. So again, it does not come from that. It is one. It is simply poetic way of saying that whatever appears dissolves back. Remember, that which appears is already dissolved. It is already empty of any content, any quality. The qualities appear for a while. It cannot dissolve back. It's already dissolved. So I think that is a little bit advanced concept, but your contemplation should be on whether this whatever you call WE is real or not. Can it do anything? If it is simply an idea in the mind, can it do anything? Whatever happens, it can take credit of it. It can say, I did it. That is what ego does. It labels everything as me and mine. I did it. Things happen automatically. Then there are other things in the mind, other processes in the mind, and they label it as good or bad. This is impure intellect, isn't it? Impure intellect will say, this is good, this is bad, this is right, this is wrong. Although there is nothing like this in this existence. So pure intellect will never think like this. And because there is no doer, nobody can do anything. It all happens. Manifestation already happening. Nobody is doing it. What is manifesting? Infinite things. Will it stop? It will never stop. It is eternal. Now what remains to do? Now what is the defect? What is the limitation here which you are trying to complete? See, it is whole and complete. Purnam. It is beautiful. It is perfect already. What is imperfect? Our ignorance, which is also perfect from the point of view of the whole existence. Ignorance is simply an event in the existence. It is a very small event which happens, then it also goes away like everything else. The knowledge is another event in this whole perfection, in the completeness. Because the ignorance happens, the knowledge must happen to compensate. And then it also goes away. Already there is nobody who knows. And that whatever happened also disappears. Is there anything to do? Think about this. When you reach here and you say, no, nothing to do, everything is perfect as it is, this is called bliss. And when you are struggling to do something, when there are wants and desires, they are trying to drive this body mind to do something by hook or crook, and that is called suffering. Now the bliss is lost. Which was your true nature? Bliss is you, isn't it? It was lost due to this ignorance. You need to bring it back if you want. Otherwise, the play goes on and it will last for some time, momentary. We don't even give it a duration. The technical word on path of knowledge is everything is momentary. Whatever you do, whatever you think, whatever ignorance or knowledge you have is momentary. Is the experiencer or the existence or Brahman affected by this thing? No. It is pleased. It is always pleased. It is always happy. It is always in bliss and peace also. Try to know this. This is you only. Nobody else. We are not talking about anybody, any other thing. It is you. So, back to basics. Get the knowledge. Nana is saying, please give us your opinion on the impact and importance of chants and mantras. So again, I want to clear. That day also I told you about this thing. On the path of knowledge, there are no mantras. Nothing is chanted. Why? Because our goal is destruction of the ignorance. And it happens without any magic. Actually, it is a big magic, isn't it? Destruction of ignorance is the most magical thing in this whole universe. Why? because it happens to only a handful of people. It happens to only a few selected, blessed people. One in a 10 million, you can say. You can assume like this. If it happened to you, if your ignorance or whatever was there, your ignorance is not the correct word, but for practical reasons, we can say, if it happened, it is magical already. What is magic? Something which happens very rarely, only to few people, and is the best thing in the world, and there is no explanation for it. It should not happen, but it happened. This is called magic. And destruction of ignorance is this kind of event. We call it grace. Grace has happened, but what are you asking for? I mean, the whole mountain of gold is given to you. And what are you asking for? Some dirt and pebbles and some sticks, something, some dry leaves. There is a mountain of gold in front of you, which is your knowledge, self-realization, or realization of the oneness. You don't want it? I am asking Nana. Because what will chants and mantras do? They will fix one or two things. Sometimes one in a million chance. Because this is occult, isn't it? It takes a lot of ability to do all these practices. One in a billion, I'll say, can do something using chants and mantras. There is no chance. And what will it do? It will fix something in the world. It will cause some kind of illusion again. It will fix something in your mind. It will cause some kind of delusion in the mind. Do you want that? Or do you want the highest? I mean, it is not compulsory. You can go for something which is small, which is temporary relief from your day-to-day life, day-to-day events, whatever happens in your life. You can go for that. But then your path is not path of knowledge. That means you are not ready for the highest at this time. That is why there is no impact or there is no importance of any practice on the path of knowledge. If you are whole, if you are perfect, which practice will make you whole again and perfect, more perfect than the highest? The thing is, you have not realized what was taught. And the mind is again, due to its old thinking patterns, old conditioning, it is still repeating the old things which you knew in the past. The mind is still searching for its petty things which it wanted in the past. But it was offered everything. Remember, you are everything. It is not something else. It is you only. It was offered, I'll give you everything. But like a intoxicated person, alcoholic person, it does not see what is given. It wants only something small. I am not saying it is small, but it is small from the point of view of the path of knowledge. Probably it is good. It is big thing for you, chants and mantras, which means your path is that. It is also good. Now all you need to do is find somebody who teaches mantras and so on, and that will be your guru. He will tell you how to do that. You can do that, because on the path of knowledge there is nothing to do. There are no practices actually. The awareness practice is simply remembering the knowledge, which many people forget. You can see from these questions, and they go through the whole program, but they completely forget. This is called the poison of illusion, Maya or wish. Poison of illusion. It again immediately poisons the mind, because what is mind? It is illusion. It runs after illusion. It heard something from somewhere, and then it thought that probably this desire or that desire can be fulfilled magically. And looks like that this guru knows everything. Because on the path of knowledge, we say that I know everything. This everything is me only. We don't know more than that. I don't know more than myself. There is nothing more to know. And that is also not knowable, isn't it? We can only drop and the ignorance that I had about myself. That much I know. And in short, we say, I know everything. So people think, oh, he must be knowing everything then. This person is the key for my happiness. And they join the program, they come in the satsang, and here they get shock of their lives because nothing is actually given. If you are already everything, what can be given to you? It can only be taken away from you. What can be taken? Whatever impurities, ignorance, and delusions, conditioning, wrong thoughts you have, they are taken away. Whatever you stick to, whatever you are attached to, will be broken. Why do we call it a destructive path? In your chapter on introduction of path of knowledge, I very clearly say this is a destructive path. Nobody will get anything. And see what your mind is trying. Even after knowing that I will not get anything, it is still trying to get something. At least the mantras will be important, you will say. At least chanting will give me something, make me better. So there is still identification with this person, with this body mind. So what happened to the knowledge? I mean, what happened to even the introduction to the path of knowledge, where it was clearly said, you will not get anything on the path of knowledge. And then again I say, you can leave the program now because this is a destructive program. It destroys. The person will not remain. It does not even matter whose desire it is. You are trying to fulfill some desire. You are trying to become better, but without knowing that there is no you. It is not you. You don't have any desires. These desires are not mine. And you are trying to do the same thing which an ignorant person does. So what happened to the knowledge? Especially after passing the exam, where I said, okay, you have knowledge now. Go ahead and practice it. Practice means remembering. So what is happening to remembering now? The poison came back. Now I'll tell you the bad part of the path of knowledge, which nobody tells you. People talk only good thing about path of knowledge. It is greatest path and so on, you see. Superior path. But no, it is not for everybody. Especially for newcomers. Everything is told in detail. They read 10 books and then they attended satsang for 6 months. They practiced. Next day they forget what is knowledge, what is ignorance, who is the doer, who is doing anything, what are all these other things, magical things. Forget. They are back to their old ignorance. Why does that happen? There is only one cause of it, and that is the person was not ready for that. The guru just took a chance. Guru simply tried, okay, let me see. He came asking for knowledge, and now he fully knows that nothing is gained here. Obviously, nothing is gained because nothing is lost also. You lost nothing. You are already whole and complete, perfect in every sense. So, hopefully, the Guru says, hopefully something, at least I'll ignite a spark in the mind. Seeds of knowledge will be sown there. This is the least the Guru expects. The Guru does not expect the poison of the illusion will not come back. It is impossible actually. 99% of the time, the person disappears in ignorance. But the seeds of knowledge remain. And whenever that person is ready, the knowledge sprouts back. And then the person is called free, liberated, because he is liberated from this pettiness, wants, desires, magical things. As soon as you stop seeing yourself as a person, as a human being, you are liberated. Moksha. What remains? Nothing. What is this nothing? Everything. This becoming nothing so that the everything can take its place is the real liberation. That is the real nirvana. And it looks like complete destruction from the point of view of that person who is not ready. But the Guru takes a chance, small chance. Let me try. Experiment. Okay, this is the knowledge. Got it. This is the evidence. Is it your experience? Yes, sir. Experience. Logical? Yes, very logical. It's the highest logic in the world. After 1 week, he comes back. My relations are failing. I am not able to fulfill any desire. I am not able to work. I lost my job. And nothing good is happening in my life. Can you tell me how to make the experiences good? Back to square one. Back to pavilion in the language of cricket. He is back to pavilion. I am not surprised. What is the function of satsang? To remind you again that why are you in this program? If you wanted pavilion, why would you come here? If square one is your base, you see, your home, why would you travel on the path of knowledge? You are happy there. Do whatever you want there, you see. Nothing is wrong, isn't it? What can be problematic that you are doing something for which you are not meant for, which is not meant for you, which is not your pre-allocation. You are not born for this. And what is the sign that you are not born for path of knowledge? The knowledge will not happen. If it happens, like we are stuffing knowledge in you, it is happening, hopefully, but it will disappear again and again and again. Like a baby goes to sleep, even if he's woken up, he again goes to sleep. You put him on the dining table, he sleeps on the dining table. You put him in a bus, school bus, he sleeps in the bus. Why? Because his sleep is his natural tendency. So we are simply trying. And if it is not happening, don't worry, it is very normal. Remember at least the seed of knowledge that I learned something. I don't understand what it is, but it was good for me. But yes, if the mountain of the gold, you are not able to carry that, you will be given some stones and pebbles, rocks, sand, whatever you want. You need to approach the right person who has all these things. Another question from Nana. During our human life journey, we get many desires, which due to different constraints we are not able to fulfill. Desire like learning to swim, dance, or buy something. Do they fall in impurities? No, no, no. They are perfectly okay desires. What is wrong in dancing, swimming, buying something? Nothing is wrong. When are we going to call it impurity? If nothing else happens in your life except swimming, you do nothing else, nothing important except dancing, or you keep buying things which you don't need, you spend all your money on that, then we call it impurity. If it is happening in a balanced way, which means it is happening when it is needed, whenever it is necessary, you buy something. If it is not necessary, you don't. Whenever you feel like dancing, you do it. You don't dance in madness like I want to become the biggest dancer in the world. And if there is no madness in your activity and you're not neglecting something important to your life, that means it is pure. It is not impure. Now, if you're not able to fulfill it, that also does not make it impurity. It simply becomes unfulfilled desire. What happens to unfulfilled desire? It will come back. It will keep coming back till you fulfill it. And at the right time, it is fulfilled and it is gone. If it comes back, that means it was not fulfilled completely. Keep doing unless it becomes harmful. Keep doing it. Make a list of your desires. See the desires that are totally unnecessary or harmful, or they are extreme. Like I want to dance, somebody is asking me not to dance, so I'll simply kill this person. Now, this is impurity, isn't it? There is no doubt about it. But if you are busy in your job and you're busy in your housework and guests are in your house and you're not able to do that thing, dance or painting or singing, whatever, it is not impurity. Because no wrong thoughts arise in your mind. You accept whatever is today. Okay, I'll do this. Today, dinner. Today, party. No dance. So, this is called living in the moment. That means desire is not forcing you to always do that. You do whatever is in front of you. Hopefully everybody is enjoying. You see, path of knowledge is very bitter. So if you like bitter things like coffee, whiskey, and so on, you will enjoy path of knowledge. There is no sugar coating most of the time, because sugar coating means waste of time, isn't it? You are here to listen to the truth, direct path. So we don't waste time. Mayank is asking, is the purpose of our body is to interact with the illusion and try to get out of it by knowing our essence, or is there any other purpose of our body? Very good question. Yes. There is no our body. Remember this thing. You can say my body. At least that is correct in some sense. There is no our body. And since it is not a common thing, everybody will have their own purpose. Everybody, everybody, everyone, every individual is born with their own purpose. So, is our purpose to interact with this illusion? Some will say, okay, 1 in a million person will say that yes, my purpose is to interact with the illusion and get out of it. Not everybody. You can, cross check this thing. You look around, you meet other people around your place in your town, ask them, and everybody is going to tell you a different story, different purpose. And if you ask them, is your purpose not to interact with the illusion and get out of it? Is your purpose not to know your essence? And they will look at you as if you ran away from a madhouse. They will say, are you coming from Agra today? Something. Or are you drunk today? What did you smoke today? They don't even know this. Purpose is kind of far away thing. They don't even know. And so you can safely say that no, this is not the case. Everybody is born for a different purpose. Who assigns the purpose? You are free to assign any purpose to this body mind which has appeared. Remember, in the existence, there is no purpose. Existence is infinite. That means there can be infinite purposes, not only one. If there is only one purpose, this means the existence is so limited. It is limited to one. But the potential is there for infinite purposes. And so that is what you see. There is no surprise, isn't it? That there are all kinds of purposes. If there were only one purpose for everybody, that you must do only this thing, that will be a big surprise. And I can tell you, nobody likes it. Nobody likes anybody else to impose a purpose on their own life. They want to be free. They want to do whatever they want to do, whatever they need to do. So, 1 in a billion has this purpose to know their essence and to come out of the illusion. If you have this purpose, you are a very rare person on earth. Because just like I said, nobody else wants it. They don't even know it. Many people don't know there is such a thing like illusion. There is such a thing like my essence. Hardly anybody knows these things. And that's why I said it happened by grace. It is the biggest magic in this universe that happened. But you probably, many people, many new seekers don't even realize the importance of it. They cannot appreciate what was given to them. In the ancient times, these rishis and these wise men and all the seekers, they did all kind of practices for 50 years, 60 years, many lifetimes, and then they got this knowledge. You are nothing. You are emptiness. They got this one line of knowledge. You are sitting at home, relaxing, watching the videos on internet, on our online program. You got it. So there is no achievement. There is no sense of achievement. So I'll tell you an interesting story that when I started this, many senior people criticized. They raised this question that you are giving it away for free. I said, I cannot take money, but no, not that free. You're giving it to everybody without checking whether they deserve it or not. I said, everybody deserves it. It is their birthright. I was like little bit stupid. So I said, why is there this question? Here is the knowledge and people want it. Obviously, everybody wants it. They want liberation. So they will take it. And they were right. People, very senior people told me that you are doing something wrong. Okay, I said, let me do it. I'll find out by experience. And I found exactly that. Very few people want it. Purpose, they don't even know what it is, told to them that, look, this is the knowledge and this is the highest thing and so on. And some people understand it, somewhat, little bit, and they forget it. Only one or two handful can appreciate what they got. So again, I was proven wrong because, there are very, very experienced gurus in this universe. Since eternity, they are doing this work. And they said, okay, you are trying to play. Okay, play. You'll find out what happens. Exactly that is happening. One day, you will realize it. And it is not completely hopeless. So that is the good part. So I asked them what to do. I asked my guru what to do. He said, don't worry. It happens to everybody. It happened to me also. And they won't want it. If it is given, they won't like it. And if somebody likes it, they will forget it. But still, the knowledge is kept alive. So you can go on dropping the seeds of knowledge and expect nothing. That is what my guru told. Don't expect that it will be fruitful. So there is a new dimension to the word selfless service now. And not only I don't get anything, I don't even expect anything. This is absolute selfless. I need to simply try. Nothing else can be done. So we wish that everybody had this one purpose to know who they are. But the bitter truth is, hardly anybody has this kind of purpose. The body simply appears. Then the body has needs, the three needs, basic needs, DGR. And it starts doing it. All other needs, all other purposes are derived out of these three. This is again, if anybody is interested, they can research like this. Whatever you call your highest desires are nothing but DGR only. You can say that is the purpose. The only wrong thing that can happen is you can assume that I was born with this purpose and you start doing it without knowing and you impose it on others that everybody is born with this purpose and then waste a lot of lives. That is the only problem that can happen. Otherwise, whatever is happening is perfectly okay. And then I saying, absolute getting it. Just see this happening around, so just wanted to understand. Well, if your path is path of knowledge, you will want to understand what is knowledge. What are these things that these people, our great gurus are telling us? Not what you are seeing around. If your attention is still around, what is happening around you? Around means other people, isn't it? What are they saying? What are they doing? What are they getting? You mean you don't look in your house, you're looking out of the window into somebody else's house. So that is a not optimum use of your life. Check what is happening with you, not around you. Check what is happening with you. Check what you want. Check what are you getting. Where are you going? If you have taken the path of knowledge, that means you must be interested in knowing what is happening in the path of knowledge. And if such a person is saying that I want to know these other things first priority, well, this program can happen another time. You see, there are many such programs and gurus, pay this much, you get all the knowledge. I want to know what is happening around. And that means something is wrong, isn't it? Remember, this is your first and the last program. You don't get to do this program again. This is your last chance. I will not meet you again. This is our final meeting. Tell me, what do you want? News of what is happening around you or something else? Okay, Arvind is saying, please explain Samarpan and Sankalp. If one is in absolute Samarpan to Guru, can he even take any Sankalp, as Sankalp also entails a desire? Anyone who is in Samarpan cannot have his own desire, Sankalp. Very good question, Arvind. Let me translate this thing first. Samarpan in English means surrender. Thank you. Looks like I surrendered my vocabulary also. So Samarpan is surrender. Sankalp is intention. It does not look like that they are related, but at some level they must be related. So those who are surrendered, and they say, I don't have any desire, like you said. That is the surrender. And nothing is mine. And that is the fact. Surrender is not a special activity, special act. Simply realization that already I don't have any desire. Acceptance. Another word for surrender, or because surrender looks like, you committed some crime and you are surrendering to the police. Unfortunately, English has this problem. But you can translate it as acceptance. I accept that I don't have any desire. They are not mine. That is true. So acceptance is surrender. It is not that he cannot have. He realizes that this is the case. I don't have any desire. They are not mine. They appear. Just like rain, clouds, rivers, wind, birds. Desires fly through the mind, in the sky of the mind. Why should I call it mine? That is complete ignorance. So that's why I said the highest impurity, not highest, the worst impurity is ignorance. If you get rid of ignorance, you don't need purification. Like she said, I have this desire to dance and all. What does it show? Still, the desire is taken as mine. Otherwise, why would you need purification of desire? And that also something like dancing, swimming. Something is wrong here, isn't it? The knowledge is forgotten. That's why. Even if you have completely accepted this thing that no desire is mine, you can still make an intention. It is possible. Because it is not mine, I can take any desire. I can own any desire. You see, that is the concept of intention. That now I decide what will be my desire. It is contradictory because deciding is simply desiring, isn't it? But still, it is possible that from today only this thing will happen. This is called intention. The intention is not your dictionary meaning, it is a occult word, intention. In the dictionary, it will be like some other meaning, that whatever the person, hidden want of that person, his intention was to do this and that. You say, not like this. In the spiritual world, the word intention means the ability to desire whatever you want. It is contradiction, you see. But again, it is possible. And if that intention is not selfish, then it produces a result. Because already you say, no desire is mine, it is already selfless. Then you make it so that it benefits somebody else, some other people. Then it takes on a power. So not my own. Yes, I cannot. No wise person will do this to make a selfish intention. Where is knowledge in that? Where is wisdom in that? So wise people do make intentions, but only for others. That is the best use of intention. And there is surrender in it. I don't want anything for me. I want for somebody else. And these people are called saints. So we are not there. We are very small. We are not there yet. So all you can do right now as a seeker, hold an intention that I'll achieve my spiritual goal. It can be destruction of knowledge. It can be anything, you see, any path. It can be an intention of progress. Hold this intention. It is not selfish, because ultimately the progress is not of the individual. The dissolution or the destruction of the individual is the progress. So it is completely selfless. And this will bring some fruit. This will be fruitful. And this should be done in complete surrender. That it is not me who is practicing. It is not me who is doing this program. It is again contradictory. Who else will do it? But with this feeling, with this knowledge in your mind, there is nobody who is doing this. Still it happens. So hopefully I explained it. If not, you can. If it's not clear, you can ask me again. Keyword is selfless in this whole drama of surrender and intention. I surrendered, but how can I do anything at all if no desire is mine? Yes, problem, isn't it? Selfless is the keyword. Even your own progress is not for you. This is the beautiful thing, isn't it, in spiritual progress? It is not for me. And that is why many seekers, they again, after achieving whatever they wanted, they start service. What kind of service? Selfless service. Service means selfless. There cannot be selfish service because it is not a service then. And the intention that is held here is progress of everybody, not my progress. There is a technical word for it. We call it the bodhisattva tendency. There is an intention there, but it is complete acceptance. Just like I gave you an example of what my guru told me. Don't expect. Do it. Do it without any attachment or expectation. So what he was telling me, to do the service without any expectation. Selfless service. Okay, Arvind is saying, yes, understood. Like there can be sankalp of acceptance only at this stage. Yes, a first step, you see. Go step by step. You cannot surrender everything right now. So progress. And if it looks like selfish from the outside, no problem. Accept that also. Okay, Narendra is saying, we drop all unnecessary desire, which is not my desire, and do what is necessary. Then live life filling purpose or live a simple life. Am I right? Yes, you are right. Yes. Although, always understand that this is not imposed on you that you must do like this. It is not compulsory. You must do it because you are like that. Now, because I have dropped all the desires, so I cannot even say that it is my desire to live a simple life. No, because you already said that I dropped the desire. So you became like that. Nobody decided, nobody dropped. How to become like that? It is very easy. Follow the path, follow the instructions of the Guru, surrender to the Guru. You will become like that. All the unnecessary desires and whatever activities will be dropped automatically. You always look to the Guru. My Guru is observing everything I do and think and say. Now automatically the unnecessary will drop because somebody is watching. And if you have a lot of love and respect for the Guru, you automatically will become like that. And ultimately you become like the Guru. And Guru is already an embodiment of divinity, hopefully, and you will become like that. Remember, the Guru is also living a simple life, and he has become simple, a minimalist. And but from the point of view of others, it is not a simple life. It is highest kind of life, isn't it? Look at all the gurus; they look very simple, and they lived on whatever donations and whatever people brought. But was their life really simple? No, simple here does not mean that it is boring. Their lives were biggest adventure in this universe. So simple does not mean uninteresting, boring and lifeless life. It means you're not doing something which is totally useless. You're simply doing that which is necessary and it is not compulsory. When I say all these things, I do not assume that it is a rule. No, it is not a rule. Do what you want to do. Choose your own path and choose your own guru. Choose your own ideals and goals. The only problem that can happen is you do mindlessly which somebody else told you to do. That is the only problem that can happen. Somebody told you to live a simple life and you left everything. You are living in a jungle. There is no joy in that. So if you are not enjoying, that simple life is not really simple. It has become a complication now. You want to get rid of that life. So always do that for which you are born. Fulfill your pre-allocation. Okay, Arvind is saying, I try to refrain from all the unnecessary things, but many unnecessary things come up from external environment. On detailed contemplation, it comes out and that those are also result of our past actions. It appears to be a game of action-reaction. Is there any pattern of events in illusion? Yes, you said that which I was going to answer. You said it already. And this is the pattern. You got the pattern also. Only that it is called action consequence, not action reaction. Action consequence or karmic law. It is so certain that we call it a law. So yes, this is a good example. You are seeing the consequences of your own actions. Who forced you into that environment? Check. Already you checked. I can see. You checked it. Contemplation. Nobody. It was my decision. It was my action to join that kind of environment, to become a part of that, whatever that is. Society, culture, country, company, marriage. It was my decision. Now face the consequences. You cannot blame anybody. This is the pattern in the illusion. Now, because of these patterns and these laws, it appears to be true. Now, it does not look like an illusion because whatever I do has a consequence. Can you call it illusion? That is why many people don't like the word illusion, because for them the illusion means that whatever I do, nothing should happen. Like in a dream, if I stand in front of a running train, nothing happens because I wake up. That's what worst that can happen. But remember, the consequence is also illusion. There are no true consequences. If the action is an illusion, the consequence is an illusion. And because it seems to follow a pattern, we call it a law. The law is also appearing. Right now, right here, this looks like that it is appearing in a lawful way. And we call it ordered experience. Instead of disorder, there is some order. Why is there an order? Now you need to understand the mind here. If anybody is interested, this all I've already told in many videos, that because the constitution of the mind is based on self-organization, it is programmed to perceive order. It is all there, in the illusion, everything is there. Order, disorder, semi-order, everything. But because the mind is assembled like this, it is a result of self-organization of patterns. It only recognizes patterns. In software, we say that it is a pattern matching machine. It matches the pattern. So it sees the patterns everywhere, and it sees that this is what is happening. Whatever actions are done, some consequences there. What is the consequence? It is not determined. It is not fixed. It is not in our control. But some of the actions are in our control. Not all. Some of the actions are in our control. At least you can control the most important actions of your life. For example, education, job, marriage, children, society, country, your spiritual path, your guru. All these important things, at least they are in control. Why do you keep doing it randomly? Not you. Why do people keep doing it randomly? Ignorance. There is nobody to tell them. There is nobody to guide them, to show them the right path. Ignorance. And they learn. There's nothing wrong there. They learn from the consequences. And the next time they decide correctly. And that is also a pattern. Nothing unusual happens. And it does not matter what you decide. It does not matter how you act. And the consequence will happen according to some kind of universal law. That is not in the human domain. Humans don't have any control over anything, including the consequence of their action. Many don't believe these things, but check your own experiences. Sometimes you act in good faith. You want everybody to be happy. You want yourself to be happy. Many times it does not happen, isn't it? Why? Because you did something good does not mean that the consequence will be good. So good and bad are not really present. You can see here that it is our assumption that I did something good. And then we assume that something good will happen. And that is also a double assumption, isn't it? That is double ignorance. So action means simply change, and consequence means that there will be another change. The law of cause and effect. So now some people will say, just now you said there are no cause, no effect. No, they are not real. It appears like this. And anything can cause anything. You need a sufficiently complicated, sufficiently complex system, and then any consequence is possible which cannot be predicted. This whole universe has everything in it. It is ultimate complexity, isn't it? Because everything is happening. So can we predict anything? No. There is no point here. There is no meaning in saying that. So in a limited scope of our lives, action and consequences are happening. And that is what your experience is. It is correct. You have seen the pattern. Now immediately any intelligent person will say, how can I use this knowledge for myself? Simply by learning from your own actions. Keep learning from your own actions. This is the good use. Okay, Arvind is saying, but here consequences are not proportionate to action. For example, sometimes just speaking an unnecessary sentence can take days of effort as consequence. Yes, very good observation. Very good. And there is another kind of disproportion that you spend 20 years working on something, next day it fails. Why? We are assuming that a small action will have a small consequence. A big action happening for 20 years will have a big consequence. No, that is also an assumption. Say you are driving at a speed of 150 kilometers per hour. Now your reaction time must be like 10 millisecond, 1 millisecond, like hitting the brakes or turning your steering if something comes on your way. It is a small action. 1 millisecond is very small in this whole universe. However, if that is not done or something else happens, what is the consequence? Very big. Whole lifetime. Just like I said, keep learning. You are discovering the illusion. Sometimes it looks like there is no order. It is completely random. But no, simply our beliefs are destroyed. By each experience we get, our past belief that we assumed is destroyed. That is how it is. So, like I said, some only few people progress spiritually, but there is something else that is happening in this world. Simply by being born in this illusion, simply becoming a part of the illusion, that creature, human being, starts learning. How do they learn? Like this: action, consequence. They progress. It is not that they don't progress. Even those who are not spiritual, they also progress, because in reality, nothing is not spiritual. That day we're talking, everything is spiritual. So they also progress. However, it is unguided. They are not following any path. They are not following any instructions. So their progress is very slow. How slow? Thousands of lifetimes. And on the spiritual path, if you have a good guru, if you get the knowledge, and if you practice properly, your progress will happen very fast, 1,000 times faster. So many seekers have this life goal of spiritual progress. And the spiritual progress, the meaning is different for different people, you see. For Arvind, it looks like your current pre-allocation. I should not say it, but don't think it is true, but it looks like that Arvind's pre-allocation is to cut the karmic bonds. That is why these things are happening. Cut the karmic bonds. Why did one word cause so much havoc, so much big problem, trouble? It is a signal that you are in the wrong place. Now don't do it or get out of it. You must be wondering, normally this does not happen. Yes, it's a signal that it is time to cut the bonds. There can be two kinds of pre-allocation. One is cutting the ties, bonds. The second is fulfilling the desires. Normally, we don't talk about the first kind. We only say, okay, tell me what is your desire. Tell me what is your purpose of the life goal. And do that. You will enjoy it. There will be a lot of energy in that. You will not feel lazy, and it will happen effortlessly. We paint a positive picture. But there is a dark side of pre-allocation because everything is dual in the illusion, good and bad. So that means there are lessons hidden in the pre-allocation. You will learn these things. Last time you could not cut the bonds. This time it will become worse, and you see, this is a story. That's why I said do not believe all these things. But we can invent this kind of story to explain the illusion that is happening right now. So cut your bonds. How do we know that they are going away? Because events like this will happen. Nothing will go as per your desire. Then finally you give up, and the last thing that remains is letting go. You say, I don't want this thing now. And that is the cutting of the bond, karmic bond. I can encourage you to think more, contemplate. You're already going in a right direction. Your thinking is already in the right direction. Now look at everything from the spiritual point of view, and you will get the help from above, from the guru. I'm not the only guru, you see, there is a whole guru field. Okay, Rinki is saying, the role of mind body is only to know about the experiencer, right? No. There are many mind bodies. There is not one. And everybody has their own to-do list. To-do list. I want to do this. I want to do that. That also, that also. And many of these mind bodies, they have 100 things to do. You can check it. As I said, you see, I answered to the above question that everybody has their own priority. This is not compulsory to know anything. Why? Because it is a play. There is no assigned role to anybody. Only 1 in a million, 10 million will say that, okay, this mind body is now born to know the experiencer. One. And they come to know you sometimes, and they forget. because the part where you forget is stronger for human beings. There are multiple roles, you can say. You are in the role of a daughter, a mother, a friend, or a guru, or a seeker, student. Many roles. One mind body is capable of many roles. So out of that 100 things to do, there is one more, you see. Sometimes I need to know my essence. And actually, that is not written there in their list. What is written there? I want to be happy. I want to achieve something. I want powers. I want progress. I want to be better than others. It is hardly, it is not even possible that somebody will say that my role is to know the experiencer. They don't even know what is experiencer. So, how will they say that? Probably you're assuming that somebody is giving the roles to the mind bodies. No, that is simply an assumption. The mind body appears, then it takes on some kind of role depending on its own tendencies and pre-allocation and environment. And like I said, that kind of environment, that kinds of tendencies, they are very strong. Spiritual tendency is very weak. Currently, this is the situation in the world. So even if they come into spirituality, they come for something else, not to know the experiencer. You must have seen all these gurus, and even in my channels, Hindi and English channels, YouTube channels, and my writings and so on, there is a lot of fluff. Fluff means useless stuff about the occults, about this world, that world, this kind of body and that kind of body, and non-physical things and so on. Why? Because if I write only about the experiencer, if I talk only about the experiencer, nobody knows this word, nobody will search for it, nobody will find me. So the guru sets up a trap by talking about the useless things which people want. Nobody wants knowledge because the ignorance is so deep, there is no desire to get the knowledge. At least they should know that there is something called knowledge. There is something called path of knowledge. There is something called my essence. They don't know, obviously. So how will they desire this thing? Not possible. How will they play this role? Not possible. So the guru sets up a proper trap where the seeker is trapped. And then for the first time in their lives, they hear about knowledge. Some of them say, yes, that is what I want. Still, there are hidden desires behind this. He says mostly, okay, this guru knows this thing, I'll take this. Probably something good will happen to me. Probably I'll become happy. Probably my life problems will be solved. Probably I can control the illusion by flip of my fingers. So they get trapped in this. Then the bitter pill, you see, the red pill happens. Look, you were completely ignorant. You did not know anything. This is the truth. Although the truth is beautiful, the mind is not ready to take it. It wants something which it heard in the past. So the guru waits. This is called seeding the knowledge. The guru waits for the right time. Then probably it happens in a billion years or million years, and the same seed takes birth. Same. And it says, I want knowledge. Still, it does not know anything about experiencer. Then it comes to know about the experiencer properly by walking on a proper path under a proper guru. And then it forgets about the experiencer again, because it is not something that can be grasped by senses or by the mind, by the intellect. It is something which you are, not something which you can know outside you. So it is forgotten. Then the practice starts. Which practice? Awareness practice. To remember, to not to forget. And this is the short story of a seeker. That is why appreciate. Try to know the importance of what is happening in your lives. Or you can waste your life just like everybody is doing. It is not compulsory to know anything as long as you are happy. If you wanted this thing, it is given to you. Try to see whether it is true or not. Try to see I wanted this or not. And then practice. If you say, oh, it is boring practice, it's not giving me anything, drop the practice. Do not do it forcefully. So far you have done everything unknowingly in dark and in the influence of somebody else. And you are doing the same here. That means no progress happened. So again and again check your life goals. again and again. You need to check your path. Now, I know some people in our group, in our program, they know exactly what is my path. Yes, this, whatever you said, I wanted only this. I don't need to, tell them anything. I don't even tell them to practice anything. They do it. Like last time we were saying, self-motivated people. There are self-motivated seekers. Those who have found the right path, they are automatically practicing. You don't need to tell them. But some, they are still expecting some kind of miracles, and I need to keep telling them. So if this is happening, you can safely conclude that I joined the wrong path. It is now going to waste many years of my life, and in the end I'll get nothing. So enjoyment, bliss, pleasure is the sign that you are on the right path. Everybody should do this kind of, it is called churning. Look inside, search inside. Is this something I wanted, or am I going somewhere else? It is very necessary. Anyhow, you will get the seeds of knowledge, but you will not get anything more than that. Hopefully everybody found this useful, and in every meeting I remind you only this much. In every meeting I remind you only this much. There is nothing more to say, isn't it? So we'll end today's meeting here, and thank you everybody for very interesting questions, and I'll meet you next time. Namaste.